morning. Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, November 1st, 2013. If you're listening on the radio and want to watch this, go to www.catex.com. Yesterday afternoon, there was a big earthquake in South America, in Chile. It's about 250 miles from Santiago, the capital. It was a 6.6. It rocked the north-central part of the country, causing buildings to sway in Santiago and people to run out in the street. There were no reports of any damage or injuries, thankfully, and the Chilean Navy reports no tsunami. You'll recall that in 2010, an 8.8 quake and tsunami rocked the country, destroying over 250,000 homes. That quake was so strong it shortened the Earth's day slightly by changing the planet's rotation. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway broke its customary silence yesterday to defend itself against allegations in the United States that it's dragging its feet in honoring asbestos-related claims filed against carriers that now form part of its runoff operation. Berkshire specializes in acquiring runoff business from legacy carriers that have either wound up, i.e. gone out of business, or have sold their asbestos insurance divisions. Nobody is writing asbestos insurance, but Berkshire buys the business because premiums still come in and they're able to pay the claims on it at a discount. Last night, Berkshire angrily denied allegations, saying its legacy arm spends more than $2.4 billion a year on claims and expenses. A Scrip News report contained apparently many material inaccuracies and misleading statements. A criticism often leveled at runoff companies, such as Berkshire, is that they're less willing to pay claims than live companies, often because they no longer have a trading relationship. Berkshire said since we started in this business, our payments for claims and claim expenses total over $20 billion, and we now exceed $2.4 billion annually. Fairfax Financial, the big Canadian conglomerate led by Prem Watsa, fell to a third quarter net loss of $572 million as good performance in its reinsurance unit was whacked by a $835 million loss in investments. According to Prem Watsa, the insurance companies are doing very well with a combined ratio of 93.4%, but you can't really recover from that sort of investment loss. American International Group, the insurer that repaid a big U.S. rescue last year, said third quarter profit climbed 17% as underwriting margins improved there. Net income jumped to $2.17 billion from $1.8 billion last year. And Swiss Re, which has been clearly focusing on the emerging world, and they're the second biggest reinsurer after Munich Re, estimates that $43 trillion, yes, trillion dollars in infrastructure investments related to urbanization is going to come from emerging markets between now and 2030. They think that that's going to translate into about $68 billion in premiums for insurance policies that cover construction risk. According to Swiss Re, the main reinsurance and insurance opportunities will likely be in emerging Asia, where the urbanization rate is lower than in Latin America and Central and Eastern Europe. China and India are expected to account for around half of emerging market infrastructure construction and commercial insurance opportunities. TEPCO, Tokyo Electric Power Company, that owns the Fukushima nuclear plant, signed an agreement yesterday with the U.S. Department of Energy for assistance in decommissioning the crippled site and in dealing, of course, with the 500 tons a day of contaminated water that TEPCO keeps producing. TEPCO said that the agreement was made with the U.S. Energy Secretary Ernest Moniz yesterday in Tokyo. The fuel removal at unit number 4 is the first major step in the decommissioning process that's expected to take decades. They're going to begin the fuel removal sometime early next year. And in the Gaza Strip and the Palestinian Authority, a shortage of fuel has stopped energy production of electricity. The energy minister of Palestine said that the power outage is blamed on Israel's destruction of tunnels used for bringing fuel to Gaza from Egypt. And he also charged the Western-backed Palestinian Authority of charging Hamas too much for electricity. They've tried to get an emergency infusion of 400,000 liters of fuel a day into there, but as of right now, most of the power is out throughout Gaza. The performer Kanye West was in the news. His Yeezus tour is on hold because of a truck crash that destroyed his huge video screen. A custom-made video truss and a 60-foot circular LED screen were damaged, quote, beyond repair yesterday when a tour truck wrecked on the road from LA to Vancouver. The gear is central to the staging of the Yeezus tour and central to the creative vision put forth by Kanye West. It's impossible to perform unless these essential pieces are re-engineered and rebuilt. Mr. West will not compromise on bringing the show as it was originally envisioned and designed. Thus far, the Thursday night performance in Vancouver has been canceled, Sunday's concert in Denver has been canceled, and Tuesday's performance in Minneapolis has been canceled. The next show is scheduled for November 7th at the United Center in Chicago. Somebody is on the hook for this claim, tour interruption as well as the replacement of the giant screen. That's the news. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.